Hello, Sophia here, the Life Navigator, and I'm here with Zerian. He's a health alchemist and he helps to elevate people to higher potentials through nutrition. He sees the body as our holy temple, and that is a gateway to expand ourselves to higher consciousness and to higher beings, and really to elevate and access our talents that we have that we may not be utilizing. So I just wanted to bring him on here to kind of get a better understanding about how possibly our nutrition, seen in the eye of it being more viewed as a light source and as essence, can actually help elevate us to access and to express our higher talents, so then we can go out and make that higher contribution in the world. So Zerian, would you be able to explain a little bit more of how you view nutrition and how that possibly can help us access our higher potentials?
The way I view nutrition is more as far as informing the body. So it's giving the body information as to activate certain brain chemicals to link us into higher source. So the problem we have on this planet right now is we have too many altered genetically modified organisms, and this includes organic. Most people think organic is, a solution or it's a better option, but I'm here to set the record straight. We really need to kind of rethink how we're going about our nutrition. Most people are just looking to fill their belly, or a lot of people are caught in the health paradigms. And for me, the human body is actually a sacred temple. It's a vibrating spiritual instrument. And so, kind of like an instrument, we need to attune that instrument. If we want to connect to higher source, if we want to connect with the universe, we need to have our sacred temple attuned. Now, the modern food supply, genetically altered food, processed foods, chemically altered foods, this actually stifles and lowers the vibration of the body. So it doesn't allow you to be this vibrating instrument to tap into higher source. And so a lot of people who are empathic, a lot of people who are conscious are struggling right now because they cannot access those higher states because their body is actually being impeded by this genetically modified food, by the water supply. Even the water has no life force. It's got plastic residues. So a lot of stuff in society is actually clogging. It's like bogging us down. It's actually lowering our light. We're not allowed to amplify our light. So most people are very misinformed, even in the holistic health field. Most people think they can pop a handful of supplements and they're covered. We have all these fads, right now, the CBD oil, we have MCT oil, we have all these things, and I always have one question: where's the proof? Where are all the fit, healthy, radiant people? Okay, and I meet a lot of people, and they always say, oh, I'm doing healthy, and then it's like, all right, well, let me hear what you're doing, and then it's like, they just rattled off 90% of what they're doing is not healthy, and they look at me like, what do you mean? Well, MCT oil is actually processed, it's chemically altered, it's not a natural compound, it's being portrayed as a health food oil, but it's not. CBD oil, most companies are using machines to chemically extract these oils to make the product, so therefore it renders that product toxic. So we need to reassess how we're going about our nutrition. It's not so much trying to find that holy grail like these magic supplements. It's actually a lifestyle embodiment, but it's also going back to nature. It's called the essence of nature. We're here in the desert and everything is vibing to me here. This is all harmonic and coherence. And everything in society is incoherent, and our bodies are meant to be nourished by coherent information and colors and sound. We're supposed to be intaking energy from Mother Earth. The essence of the plants, the essence of the rocks, that's nourishing to me. It's not just what I physically put in my body. So humanity has got the wrong idea. For me, when I look at what people are doing, I look at them and go, you're not going to access your higher potential because you're not activating your brain, number one. You're not elevating the frequency of your body, so you're going to stay stagnant and stuck. And this is where a lot of people, I know they mean well, but a lot of people in the conscious fields, the empathic people, they're looking to expand, but I see a disconnect because they're not fully understanding that expansion and evolution is actually biological. And this is what I can prove physically, that in your body there are certain biochemical processes going on, especially in your brain and spinal cord, that activate your pineal gland, activate your DNA, so you can access higher states of consciousness. So most people are using a mental, emotional process to try to expand consciousness. It's very limiting, and it's actually very taxing on your energy. It's energy consuming, like meaning you have to use a lot of energy to try to connect to that level, when it's actually much simpler. If people would focus on this holy temple and get it attuned and vibrating high, you would see that you can actually tap into source a little easier, and even the universe will respond differently to you. So there's people teaching laws of attraction, and for me, for years I've just have not really liked when I hear people teaching laws of attraction, because it's programming people to use the mental faculties, which is actually an impediment to evolution. For me, laws of attraction are too mental, and actually attraction and manifestation actually happens through your body. So it's more of an actual biological creation to manifest and attract, as opposed to using mental constructs. And this is why 95% of people who employ laws of attraction or try to employ those philosophies in their life don't get much results in their life. And again, I'm being honest. I have tried to use them, and it really didn't have success with them. And then I'm looking at my friends and acquaintances, and then I look at people that I've met in spiritual communities. There's a common theme. It's called struggle and suffering. I see a lot of people struggling and suffering. So for me, I started changing my perspective as, how can we attain these higher states of consciousness? Because it looks like so many people are putting out so much energy, and not much is really changing in their life. So for me, this here is what I call the holy chalice. Now, there's a story in myth and legend called the Holy Chalice, and people think it's this gold cup or gold ornament. And for me, it's a metaphor for your body. This is the Holy Chalice, and it's a vibrating spiritual instrument. And if you know how to attune it, that's when the miracles happen. That's when you can ignite your inner, what I call your inner superhero. That's when your pineal gland ignites. That's when your DNA ignites, which you can then access higher states of consciousness, because higher states of consciousness is linked to your DNA being turned on, as with your pineal gland and spinal cord. And if you're not intaking the proper nutrition, you can't activate these faculties. And so that's where a lot of people are struggling. They're trying to connect, but they really can't, because they're not really taking care of their health, number one, or they're following a paradigm and they're inputting nutrition that's not ideal for their body constitution, which is another problem I see with people. They're caught in a paradigm and they think, oh, this is healthy, but it's like, all I have to do is look at someone and go, well, your body's telling you that's really not healthy for you.
So how do you go and then be more in tune to understand what is good for you and what is just being told out there is good for you?
Yeah, it's called exploration. And listen to your body's a feedback mechanism. So when you look in the mirror, what do you see? Do you see light? Do you see vibrancy? Do you see radiant skin? Do you see clear eyes? How's your mental faculty? Is it clear? Are you clear-minded? When you get up in the morning, do you feel well? How well do you feel? This is, and again, I'm just being honest with people. When I ask them that question, they never take the time. How does it feel? You're following this nutrition lifestyle, but how's it working for you? How's your skin? How are your nails? Your body's a feedback mechanism, so all you have to do is look at your body. But also, how do you feel inside your body? Do you feel calm? Do you literally feel well? Or is it there's always this, there's just something just doesn't feel right? I mean, believe me, I've been through my own health struggles, because I'm empathic. I've been empathic since I was born. I was working out, 4 or 5 days a week. I was taking awesome supplements. I was doing organic food, and I was preparing all my meals. I possibly couldn't have had healthier meals coming into my body, and yet something just didn't feel right. I just didn't feel like as good as I knew I could, based on all this energy I'm putting in, all this money, and yet it's not translating into optimum health. What's going on? And that's when I started digging a little deeper, and that's when I started exploring, experimenting, and going, oh boy. And that's when the light bulb came on, is most of what's out there for human nutrition is programming. I'm sorry to have to tell people. I know some people are they're following either someone online or they took a certification, and they think most of that is programming. Everybody is individual. We all have a unique genetic blueprint. We all have a unique mental, emotional, spiritual makeup. That will determine what kind of nutrition input that you need. So for you, one nutrition lifestyle serves you well. For me, it might not serve me well. And I've proven this to people with, just try some new things. Okay, for 1 day, 2 days, try something new and see what happens. And you see, once you start exploring, your body starts giving you different feedback. That's when you know what is ideal for your body type. Some people, they're vegan, vegetarian, but their body's telling them this is not for me, and they're struggling. And not only that, their body is in degeneration mode. They actually have health conditions. They have sometimes serious health conditions, and yet they continuously follow the same nutrition lifestyle. So what I'm saying is there is no one magic diet. There is no one magic supplement. It's individual. And that's where people need to take proactive responsibility. Is you can't look outside all the time for the magic push button health answer, because it doesn't exist. And for me, health starts first with your consciousness, and then it starts with restructuring your life so it's all coherent and harmonic.
So can you touch a little bit more upon that? Because with me, I see nature as essence, in a realm of essence, whether that be light or just the frequency of it. Can you pertain that to food and how we ingest food and what exactly what our bodies want from food and nutrition?
Yeah. So the way the body, most of people think that you ingest certain compounds and your body breaks them down and absorbs certain nutrients into your cells. Nothing is getting absorbed into your cells other than water. Okay, water is the only structured water. You need the water molecule to be so small that it actually enters into the aquapore in your cell. Nutrients do not get absorbed into your body. What's supposed to happen is nutrients are supposed to attach to the receptor sites of your cells, and there's an energy exchange, there's an information exchange. So around minerals and vitamins, there's this biofield that some people who have the right equipment, you can see this luminous biofield around a mineral. And what your cells want is just the information. It wants that light around this nutrient to then access information, to then it can produce its own. Your body's producing keratin and proteins. Your body's producing skin and hair. You don't ingest something and it goes into your body and then your body spackles it over here or it pushes it over here. That's not what's happening. Your body wants information. It wants frequency. It wants color. It wants sound, vibration. And it takes those vibrations and then it has the energy and light to produce its own constituents. This is why the body is a marvel. To me, if people truly understood what the body's doing, they would pause and rethink how they're going about their whole life, because everything is impacting your health. Everything you wear is impacting your health. Everything you put in, on, and around your body is impacting your vibration. It's either uplifting your vibration or it's pulling it down. Now, most of society is set up against us. It's incoherent, disharmonic, and it's pulling people's vibration down. This is why a lot of people are struggling. It doesn't matter if you're conscious. It doesn't matter if you mean well. And it doesn't matter if you have great intentions. If you're in this discordant energy soup, you can't attain higher levels of consciousness, especially if you're dumping in GMO constituents in your body, especially if you're drinking water from plastic bottles. Those plastic residues are clogging your pineal gland, they're clogging your liver and kidneys. It's dampening your light, but it's not allowing your body to vibrate super high to connect to higher source. And this is what's the main impediment to most people's evolution. I've been through it myself, and I see a lot of my friends and acquaintances struggling, and they don't understand that just because you're eating organic food doesn't mean that your body is benefiting from it. Just because you're doing this kombucha and all these gimmicks, for me, all these things are gimmicks and they're money makers. Kombucha and green powders and superfoods. And I always say, how's it working for you? And where are all the fit, healthy, radiant people? And that's when people go, oh, because we have epidemics that are continuing to rise every year, and yet we have the most amount of health information, health products than ever before. And we have people that are actually on their way out.